Let's take a look at how to find central tendencies from a frequency table. We have 11 houses and we have the value for each house. In order to find a mean, you need to do the sum divided by the total number of n things you have. In this case, our n is equal to 11. We have to consider the frequency for each value. We have one house for $100,000, so we have $100,000 to add to our sum, and 5 houses for $175,000, so we can multiply 5 times 175,000 to get 875,000. We then have 4 houses for $200,000. If you multiply them out, you get 800,000. And we have one house for $700,000 to add to our sum. We're going to divide all of these by 11. Some of you might say I only have 4 numbers, but remember to keep in mind that I multiplied for each house where the frequency was greater than 1. I find the sum. I end up with 2,475,000 divided by 11, which equals $225,000. This is our average value or mean for a house on Washington Street. Part B asks us to find the median value of the houses. I have to break 11 in half. When I look at the halfway mark of 11, it would take me to 5.5, which means my 6th term will be my middle or median value. Now, without listing them out, I have to find a way to get to my 6th term. So I start from the top of my frequency table and I look at my frequencies and I add them up until I hit or surpass 6. So starting from the top, I have a frequency of 1 in 100,000, so that's not enough. And then I have 1 plus 5, which would take me to 6, or my 6th term. I want to make sure I'm correct, so I now do the same from the bottom. I start with 1, which is not enough. Neither is 1 plus 4, that's only 5. So now I consider 1 plus 4 plus 5, which is 9, and 9 surpasses 6. This leads me to believe that my median value is $175,000. Question C asked me to find or state which measure of central tendency, the mean or median, best represents the values of these 11 houses. When I first consider my mean, the average, I have to take a look at where the majority of my houses are. The majority of my houses are below $225,000. Only one house exists above the mean for $700,000. The mean is not the best representation. I now consider my median. My median is $175,000. The majority of my houses cost less than $200,000. This making $175,000 a better representation of the value of these 11 houses.